Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are presented by the Hula Bowl. Today I have with me Robert Ferrel. He is a wide receiver out of Washington State and everywhere else, but recently Washington State. Nice to have you, sir.
Yes, sir. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so had a cup of coffee at a few different universities, been a part of some great offenses, really fantastic special teams player as well. But I want to just let you set the stage for us, man. Tell me where you're from.
So I'm from a little town in Nevada called Reno, Nevada. A lot of people only think about Nevada, about Las Vegas, but there's another town in it that's actually decently sized. They call it a little mini Vegas. So yeah, I was born and raised there, and yeah, just been everywhere since then.
Gotcha. And there in high school, I do have in my notes that you played a couple other sports, specifically some track and field. Can you talk about some of the other sports that you've played in your I guess high school years?
Oh yeah, so high school I primarily played football, but in the spring had to pick something else. So I ran track and field, but mostly was a field athlete. I did high jump, pole vault. I kind of did everything actually. So short sprints, 100, 200, but primarily high
Gotcha.
jump was my event.
So I mean, I don't want to pick on you too much, but I mean, you're a guy who's maybe about 5'9", but I do have in my notes, your high jump actually went 6'4", per my notes, which is a really crazy number when you think about a guy who's as tall as you are, but is able to get that jump. So how in the world does that happen?
I don't know where it happened. I asked my dad, I was like, were you ever good at jumping, this and that? And he's like, no, I've never been good at jumping. So I don't know where that came from, but I just always been able to jump pretty well.
Well, hey man, obviously it's gotten you somewhere. I mean, um, let's talk about obviously you chose to pursue the game of football and not really to be a jumper of sorts or any other sports. Why the game of football, dude? Why do you like this game so much?
Oh man, I just feel like it brings a brotherly love that I don't have at home because I don't have any brothers or anything like that. I only grew up with sisters, which is a little bit different. You know, you can't be as tough or roughhouse with them. But I've
Says
also been
who?
playing my parents as I got older. I got too much bigger than them. But yeah, so I grew up on this game since I was 5 years old. My dad, my mom, they used to drive me to practice, made a bunch of sacrifices for me to even play. So I mean, I just fell in love with it since then.
Gotcha. And of course, like I said, I mean, primarily wide receiver, also a return specialist. Talk to me about you, really in this journey of yours. I mean, where did it all start? Because I mean, you've been to a few different universities. Can you walk me through this entire journey here?
Oh yeah, it's a long one. So I graduated high school in 2017, and I didn't really have any offers or any looks out of high school. So I went junior college to a little junior college in Eureka, California, College of the Redwoods, and I was all conference there in 7 games and led my team in receiving and also was a return specialist there. And then I took a semester off the following semester in spring, and then I tried to walk on to Nevada, which I did. I got on in the fall of 2018, and then I felt like that I wasn't getting the opportunity that I deserved at the time. So I went junior college again, but this time in LA at El Camino College. And then I was a junior college All American there, had like over 1,800 all purpose yards, like 13 touchdowns, was doing pretty well for myself. Was getting a lot of looks. And then the COVID pandemic hit in like that spring of 2020.
Hmm.
So I took that semester off. I had my AA in hand already. So I was just working, and I was like, whatever, I'm done with football. I was working at the Tesla Gigafactory out there in Reno, Nevada, real long shifts. And I I was on break one day, and at 3 a.m. I was like, oh wow, there's a call from Texas. I wonder who the heck is calling me from Texas, at this late. So there is probably early morning, but it was the inside receivers coach, Coach Killo at UIW, and he offered me a walk-on spot, and I was like, oh, okay, bet I'm coming. I didn't even need to hear anything else, so I just took that and eventually got put on partial scholarship for that first fall semester, and then by the spring I got put on full scholarship, and then I graduated from there, played 2 seasons, and then eventually transferred here to Washington State.
So, I do think a lot of this is interesting. I mean, you have this guy who, maybe things didn't work out for you at first, but eventually a lot of stuff started to, ramp up a little bit. JUCO All-American, getting your shot at Incarnate Word. And then the cool thing is you play there at Incarnate Word with a fantastic quarterback, and you find your way really in the same huddle once again with the guy in Cameron Ward. Tell me about Cameron Ward.
Man, he's a special player for sure. It's crazy, our story. So I transferred in, and he was coming in as a freshman at UIW. So we both started off basically on third and fourth strings together, and then eventually worked our way up to becoming first string. And I just seen him grow so much since then, coming from, him running the wing tee and then coming to an air raid, which is literally the totally opposite offense. So, I mean, even since then to now, he's just grown so much. And what's crazy is he has so much more that he's able to reach. He hasn't even reached his potential yet.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a guy who could potentially be like in the mix like next season for like a Heisman. I mean, he's got a very he's going to get these opportunities in the coming season. So, I mean, I think a lot of people love him, but the cool thing is that you guys were able to maintain that chemistry once again, being teammates, which is really cool, man. I think that's a good thing going for you. Let's talk about you as a wide receiver. Obviously we talk about you as, a smaller receiver. So, take it however you want. And then of course, you as a special teamer, how would you define yourself as a prospect?
I feel like I'm just a gritty, work hard player that has, some people say sneaky athleticism, but I wouldn't say that. I said I'm pretty athletic for my size and stature. And then in the return game, I feel like I could do some pretty great things in the return game, especially. And then I just feel like as a receiver, I know the game so well. I just find easy open pockets and zone coverage, and then man coverage, know how to manipulate people with eyes and then breaks.
So when you look at guys at like the next level in the NFL, who are you studying? Who are you trying to model your game after? Who are you a fan of? So talk to me about that.
I mean, there's not just like one specific person I'm trying to model after. I don't want to just be like a replica. So I try to ask Coach Morris actually played with Wes Welker in his later years at Texas Tech, so he knows a little bit about Wes, and he's taught me a little bit about that. And then his best friend's actually Danny Amendola, so I also take some stuff that he does. And then of course Julian Edelman and Cooper Kupp and the best in the game like Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. You could always learn a little bit of something from everybody. So I kind of try to do that and then tweak it my own way that fits my style.
So give me a feel for how this Robert Ferrel has developed over the years. I mean, obviously you're not where you used to be when you were at El Camino or wherever you were. You've really developed into a quality athlete, quality receiver. Who's involved there? What are you doing, man? I mean, obviously there have been a lot of people that have helped you get you where you are.
Yes, sir. I actually, I just feel like it's luck. It's a little bit of a luck of the draw. I finally had some good luck after a few years of bad luck. But yeah, so I really never grew up with like any trainers or receiver coaches, especially in my area. There's no facilities. There's no like people that specialize in developing high athletes. So once I got to UIW, Coach Killo actually really took me under his wing and developed me and took time out of his day to develop me into a receiver that he's seen before. Cause I had all the raw ability. I could run, I could jump, I'm strong, but he just really developed me into being able to stick my foot and how I read defenses. So he was real big. And then the strength staff over there, especially Coach Huth, he's the main strength and conditioning coach there. He developed my strength into something I thought I couldn't ever touch. I thought I was already strong as I could be. So he definitely that. And then the nutrition program here and everybody here just took it to a different level with the facilities and the accessories that they had, the training staff, all of that.
Gotcha. You were talking a little bit about your strength coaches. Let's take put a foot in the door there in the weight room. Obviously, you got to get in there and do a little bit of work in there. What's your favorite lift or exercise or workout there in the weight room that you feel most proud of?
Probably my power clean. I actually got up to a 315 power clean at my body weight is pretty impressive. So yeah, power clean definitely. And then I love lower body. I feel like lower body is so like instrumental to what I do on the football field. Like upper body's just, I feel like, for looks, but at the same time, I got to be able to block. So upper body came after my lower body, but I've always put real good pride in my lower body to make it strong.
Gotcha. 315 power clean's really nice. Like you said, for a guy your size, I mean, that's a fantastic number. I mean, and really it's lifts like that are full body lifts that really demonstrate a person's overall strength. So really dig that one for you. So have you done any other training when it comes to like some of these combine-esque sorts of things? Like, are you working towards those things? You have a trainer that's helping you with your 40? Like, how is that looking?
Yes, sir. I'm actually going to move to Dallas, Texas and do combine training there. Coach Sal is actually going to help me with that. He was a strength conditioning coach at Texas Tech, over here at Washington State. He worked at Exos for a little bit, so I'm going to do that and work with him, and he's going to work with me on all the combine stuff, the strength, the nutrition. So I'll be definitely ready for pro day or combine or whatever I get an opportunity to do.
Gotcha.
I'll be here in like the beginning of January or so to give me like a week or so after the ball to get ready.
Sure. So, Robert, you've been a part of a lot of different programs, a lot of different, offenses. Let's just go ahead and talk about, I mean, we talked about Cameron Ward there for a little bit, but tell me someone else besides him who maybe has been a very impressionable person for you. I mean, when it comes to, some of your teammates. Who's been maybe give me like a couple of your teammates like throughout the years that have really impressed you?
Definitely my guy Taylor Grimes. He's actually at UIW right now. He came a semester after or a year after I did, so we kind of got to play last season together, and then just to see him come in, work hard, and then develop into what he has, it's actually pretty special, and I'm proud of him for that. And he's taught me a lot about receiver too. Me and him kind of like, exchange minds and little tactics. So him, and then up here, definitely Dejon Stribling and Don Ollie, and basically the whole receiver group, they all took me in, and I kind of taught them the offense, and they're teaching me a little bit about like what it means to be a Power 5 receiver and stuff like that. So I feel like a lot of people have helped me definitely develop me into who I am.
Awesome. Talk about maybe one of your most memorable moments. I mean, is there any like particular game or play that you can kind of walk me through that's like one of your biggest highlights?
Yeah, definitely. It would be last year at UIW, we played an FBS opponent, Texas State, and I actually had a very good game, like 10 receptions, 130 yards, 2 TDs. And I just felt like our offense was unstoppable in that point. We were just moving, and I just felt in the groove. And then what tops it off is that was the first FBS win for UIW in history. So, I mean, that's a pretty good accomplishment to be a part of that. And then to see what they're doing now. They beat another FBS this year. So I feel like we kind of started it, and then now they're just continuing success. I feel like that's a pretty great moment.
Yeah. And, UIW is in a position where they could even, make the jump to the FBS. So we'll see how that works in the coming years. But they definitely have the talent to really run with those guys. So it's great to see that program develop into what it is right now. Give me your favorite route. Can you talk me through like your favorite route or route concept or something?
Definitely my favorite route would probably be a 10-yard out or a corner route. I love out breaking routes because you could just do so much with people in man coverage. You could step them inside, step them outside. You could 1-2 at the top. There's just so much you could do to people that just get them all out of whack. And, so those are definitely my sale concepts.
Yeah, leave the guy struggling in his shoes and broken ankles. So love that. Let's get a chance. I want to meet this guy off the field a little bit. So talk to me about who Robert Ferrel is outside of a football player. Any interests, hobbies, or any passions you got in life that you want to share? So give me something.
I mean, outside of football, I feel like I'm kind of a standard guy. I like to hang out with my friends. I like to meet new people. I definitely like to play video games. That's how I stay in contact with my friends back home. So that kind of gives us a mutual interest. I like to read. Reading's a big hobby of mine. Any sort of book I see online that people say is good, I'll buy it on Amazon and see if it's actually good and stuff. So I'm starting to, it's beginning to become like a chore to move all these books every time I move from apartment to apartment now. So I like to read. Any other hobbies I got? I mean, outside of football, I love to watch football, play football. I love watching basketball. I'm not very good at it, but I love watching it.
Cool. So you said that you have been reading a lot lately. What's your most recent read?
It's actually right here. The 48 Laws of Power is what I'm on right now. It's just a book like this, 48 Laws of Power. It's a real interesting book. Jay-Z actually read it. P. Diddy has done a bunch of excerpts on it. A lot of successful people say that this book is like to live by. So I just seen that and I was like, okay, I'll see what it's about.
Well, hey, I mean, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
You mentioned guys like Jay-Z, P. Diddy. Are those the kind of musicians that you're listening to? I mean, is that your genre, man? I mean, what's your go-to there?
So hip hop, yeah, definitely my genre, but I feel like my favorite artist would probably be Nipsey Hussle. Definitely. I was in LA at the time of his passing, so a lot of people, like, it was crazy what he did for the community, not only as a musician, but just like him getting out in the community, doing so much for the underprivileged people out there. And another guy I like, J. Cole, Kendrick, like all the mainstream artists, really. Drake, you can't miss Drake.
No. I definitely feel you on all that. So one other question I want to ask you that's kind of, I don't know, maybe steers us back towards football just a little bit, but if you were able to speak with your younger self back in high school and maybe perhaps give him a bit of advice as to how to carry him through his time, throughout colleges and universities and this huge journey you've been on, what advice would you give him?
I would definitely just first piece of advice would probably be just don't listen to anybody else. Like just kind of always believe in yourself. Don't get down on yourself because like whatever anybody else says really doesn't matter because it's your life, do that. Save as much money as you can. Don't spend it on stupid stuff. Like even the new phones, like if your phone works, don't buy the new one. You don't need the new gaming system. Save as much money as you can and just take life day by day because you know how short it is with you never know when your time's going to come at that point. And yeah, that's just someone right there.
Well, hey, I mean, obviously, you have been taking it day by day. I mean, you have gone through this arduous journey, getting you where you are, becoming this gritty type player who can play some inside, can play some outside, can play some special teams. So I do know that you offer a lot to as a prospect. So maybe perhaps there is a scout that has been looking at you and maybe wants to get to know you at least a little bit more. And so with that, just want you to kind of close us out, man, and talk to those scouts directly and tell them why they need to take a chance on you and maybe draft you, sign you, and bring you into their franchise. So go ahead and hit them with your pitch.
Yes, sir. I feel like I bring a lot to a football team, not only just on the field but off the field. Being a little bit older and being around the game for 18 years now, maybe. But so dang near my whole life I've been around the game. So I feel like I bring a lot to on the field too. I'm real versatile. I feel like I could take jet sweeps. I could catch deep balls. I could catch short, quick game. I do kick return, punt return. I'll do punt gunner. I mean, I don't just. I take pride in everything that I do. I don't have to be the focal point of any offense or any special teams. I just want to be out there and contribute and win as a team.
Gotcha, man. So we're just going to put you out there on linebacker now. No, just kidding. Obviously, a guy who I feel could really contribute day one as a special teamer. And then, of course, once you get out there and get your opportunities, run those out routes that you were talking about, break some ankles and really showcase that talent. People are really going to dig you and what you are able to bring to their football team. So, Robert, do wish you best of luck in this process. I know you got a bowl game coming up, so good luck in that one. And then, of course, after that is on to this whole draft process. And hope all goes well for you. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. Once again, I got with me Robert Ferrel. He's a wide receiver out of Washington State. Definitely check him out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.